Have you ever wanted to create your own little world? Miniature painting lets you do just that. Imagine holding a tiny warrior or a magical creature in your hand, its surface brought to life with vibrant colors. It's about transforming small figures into works of art, one brushstroke at a time. Don't worry if you're a complete beginner. Miniature painting is a fun and rewarding hobby that anyone can enjoy. This guide will be your trusty companion as you embark on your miniature painting adventure. Get ready to unleash your creativity and bring your tiny creations to life. So grab your brushes and let's dive into the exciting world of miniature painting. Why do people love miniature painting? It's about creating something unique, something you can hold in your hand and be proud of. It's incredibly satisfying to see a plain miniature transform into a stunning piece of art with each brushstroke. Miniature painting is also a fantastic way to relax and unwind. As you focus on the intricate details, you'll find yourself entering a state of flow, where stress melts away and creativity takes over. Miniature painting is a social hobby too. There are thriving communities of enthusiasts who share their creations, exchange tips, and participate in painting competitions. You'll find a welcoming and supportive community ready to embrace your passion. So whether you're seeking a creative outlet, a relaxing pastime, or a way to connect with fellow hobbyists, miniature painting has something special to offer everyone. Miniature painting is an integral part of many exciting hobbies like wargaming and diorama building. Imagine commanding your own army of intricately painted soldiers on a meticulously crafted battlefield. Each miniature represents a unit in the game, and their painted details bring them to life, distinguishing friend from foe and showcasing the unique characteristics of each faction. From the gleaming armor of valiant knights to the fearsome visages of orcs and goblins, painted miniatures enhance the immersive experience of wargaming. Dioramas are like miniature stage sets that tell stories through meticulously arranged scenes. Carefully painted figures, buildings, and natural elements create a sense of realism and depth, drawing viewers into the miniature world you've created. Whether you're a seasoned wargamer or a budding diorama enthusiast, miniature painting is an essential skill that will elevate your creations and immerse you in worlds of imagination and wonder. Ready to start your miniature painting journey? Great! Let's gather the essential tools you'll need. Don't worry, you don't need a ton of expensive equipment to get started. Here are the basics. First, miniatures. You'll need something to paint. Choose a miniature that appeals to you, whether it's a brave warrior, a whimsical creature, or something else entirely. Next, paints. Acrylic paints are perfect for beginners. They are water-based, easy to clean up, and come in a wide variety of colors. Start with a basic set of colors and expand your collection as you gain experience. Then, brushes. You'll need a few different brushes for various painting tasks. Look for synthetic brushes in sizes ranging from very fine detail brushes to larger brushes for base coating. Don't forget primer. Priming your miniatures is crucial before painting. Primer helps the paint adhere better and provides a smooth surface for your colors to shine. Lastly, accessories. Other handy tools include a palette for mixing paints, a water pot for cleaning your brushes, and some paper towels for drying them. That's it for the essentials. As you become more comfortable with miniature painting, you can explore additional tools and supplies to enhance your techniques and creations. Choosing your first miniature is an exciting step. With so many options, it can be tough to decide. Consider your interests. What excites you? Choose a miniature that sparks your imagination. Start simple with large, easy-to-paint areas. Focus on learning basic techniques. Think about scale. Larger scales are beginner-friendly. Go with your gut. Pick something you're excited about painting. Priming your miniature is a crucial first step that ensures your paint adheres properly and provides a smooth, even surface for your colors to shine. Here's a quick guide to priming your miniature. First, prepare your miniature. Ensure your miniature is clean and free of any mold release agents or debris. Wash it with warm soapy water and let it dry completely. Next, choose your primer. Primer comes in various colors, but for beginners, a light gray or white primer is recommended. These colors provide a neutral base for your paints and make it easier to see your brush strokes. Then, apply the primer. Shake your primer can well and hold it about 6 to 8 inches away from your miniature. Spray in short, even bursts, moving the can back and forth to ensure complete coverage. Avoid applying too much primer, which can obscure details. Finally, let it dry. Allow the primer to dry completely before moving on to painting. This may take a few hours depending on the type of primer you used. Once your miniature is primed, it's ready for painting. Base coating is where your miniature starts to come to life. This step involves applying the initial layer of color to each part of your miniature, creating a foundation for the shading and highlighting that will add depth and dimension later. Here's how to base coat like a pro. First, thin your paints. Before you start painting, thin your acrylic paints with a little bit of water. This will prevent the paint from clogging details and ensure a smooth, even application. Next, load your brush. Dip your brush into the paint, but avoid overloading it. You want enough paint to cover the surface, but not so much that it drips or obscures details. Then, apply even coats. Apply the base coat to each part of your miniature, using smooth, even strokes. Avoid going back over areas that are already wet, as this can lift the paint and create uneven textures. Finally, let it dry. Allow each base coat to dry completely before moving on to the next. Once you've applied all your base coats, your miniature will have a vibrant foundation of color, ready for the next stage, shading and highlighting. Shading and highlighting are where your miniature truly comes to life. These techniques create the illusion of depth and dimension, making your miniature look more realistic and visually appealing. Here's a breakdown of each technique. Shading. Shading involves applying darker shades of your base color to recessed areas, such as the underside of muscles, folds in clothing, or the crevices of armor. This creates the illusion of shadows, making these areas appear further back. To shade effectively, use a smaller brush and a darker shade of your base color, or a dedicated shade paint. Apply the shade carefully to the areas you want to darken, blending it smoothly into the surrounding base coat. Highlighting. Highlighting is the opposite of shading. It involves applying lighter shades of your base color to raised areas, such as the tops of muscles, edges of armor, or the bridge of the nose. This creates the illusion of light catching these areas, making them appear closer to the viewer. Similar to shading, use a smaller brush and a lighter shade of your base color or a dedicated highlight paint. By mastering shading and highlighting, you'll bring your miniature to life with stunning realism and depth. With your base coats, shading, and highlighting complete, it's time to add those finishing touches that will truly make your miniature shine. Here are a few ideas to elevate your miniature painting eyes. The eyes are the window to the soul, even on a miniature. Carefully painting the eyes can bring a whole new level of life and personality to your creation. Metallic paints. Metallic paints are perfect for adding a touch of realism to weapons, armor, or jewelry. Use a fine detail brush and apply the metallic paint carefully to achieve a smooth, even finish. Basing. Once your miniature is fully painted, consider adding a base to display it. You can use pre-made bases or create your own using materials like sand, gravel, or static grass. Varnishing. A coat of varnish will protect your hard work and prevent the paint from chipping or scratching. Choose a varnish that suits your desired finish, whether it's matte, satin, or gloss. Remember, the finishing touches are your opportunity to let your creativity shine and add your own personal flair to your miniature masterpiece. These details will make all the difference in bringing your miniature to life. Like any new skill, miniature painting takes practice. Don't be discouraged if your first few attempts don't turn out exactly as you envisioned. The key is to embrace the journey of learning and experimentation. Here are a few tips to help you improve your miniature painting skills. Practice regularly. Set aside some time each week to paint, even if it's just for a short while. Regular practice will help you develop muscle memory and improve your brush control. Experiment with techniques. Don't be afraid to try new techniques or experiment with different paints and brushes. The more you experiment, the more you'll discover what works best for you. Seek feedback. Share your work with other miniature painters and ask for constructive criticism. Feedback from others can help you identify areas for improvement and gain new perspectives. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes, especially when starting. View mistakes as learning opportunities and don't be afraid to try again. Each mistake brings you one step closer to mastering the art of miniature painting. Remember, the most important thing is to have fun and enjoy the process of learning and creating. Unleash your creativity and bring your unique visions to life. Here are a few tips to spark your imagination. Find inspiration everywhere, from nature's colors to everyday details. Let your imagination run wild. Experiment with bold color schemes. You might be surprised at the results. Tell a story with each miniature. A well-painted miniature can tell 1,000 words. Embrace your unique style. Let your artistic voice shine through. The most rewarding creations reflect your personal style. Embrace the endless possibilities and have fun.